Present day. Present time.
Imagine playing a game that you like. It's just one day you just wake up and you're mad. Like, meanwhile, cheaters are just running around with tools that even anti-cheat can't even detect. So these are one of the many things that's actually happened to online multiplayer games like Apex Legends. So today we'll be talking about why anti-cheat is failing us and it's banning innocent players, and how cheaters are using advanced AI aimbot tools to bypass it. And the crazy thing is that the anti-cheat doesn't even detect them. Stay tuned for more as we discuss this. So Apex Legends uses this anti-cheat called Easy Cheat, basically stop cheaters or try to. But this is causing a huge issue when it comes to people that play on things like Mac or Linux operating systems. Let's get something out of the way. Most games, even that they have anti-cheat, or like any type of, most online games, I will say that they were in Linux and Mac OS. Like, a lot of them do work. Don't get me wrong, but some of them and how this freaking companies are handling is something that seems kind of sus to me. Okay, so let me explain this. So if you one of these users and you're running a game through a translation layer like Proton or Wine, it basically, just because you're not on a full Windows system, even though you're using a translation layer, it marks you as a cheater even though you did nothing wrong. It's because anti-cheat doesn't exactly know how Linux works. Essentially, players are getting punished just for playing in a different operating system. And this type of stuff, like, it pisses the shit out of me. And not only me, there's lots of players who are actually pissed off, and it pisses off the community in general. And it's really frustrating to have to deal with it. Like, we have our reasons why we don't want to use Windows. Don't try to force us into it. It's a free country. And while these innocent players are getting banned off the game, cheaters are getting way smarter in their cheating tactics. And for example, they're using AI aimbots. So here's how it works. First of all, it doesn't really like change the memory or nothing. Like, it doesn't modify nothing within your game. But it basically watches you from the outside and what you're doing. So using AI, artificial intelligence, it detects the enemies in real time. Then it gets better. Then it moves your mouse faster than any human can. This works both in mouse and keyboard and controller. Why this cheat is much harder to catch, because since it's not messing with the memory or anything, it makes it harder for the anti-cheat to really detect it. Think about it like a robot playing for you, just pretending everything is normal, all dandy. You know what's the most hypocritical thing I find? That when you go into the GitHub, it actually shows you that, oh, this is only made for developers for entertainment purposes, which is total fucking bullshit, let's be honest here. And us as Linux players, we know for a damn fact that there's more cheaters on Windows than there is on Linux, because Linux is such a small portion when it comes to the market that it's really not even likable. Like, it's just not, I don't understand it. And how is it a big issue if we're such a small part of the market as they claim? It makes no sense. And matter of fact, I'll actually show you what the general Linux user thinks about that Apex Legend ban.
This is a completely ridiculous statement because there is no such thing as a legitimate Steam Deck. A Steam Deck is a computer running an operating system that Valve made. You can cheat on SteamOS just as much as you can cheat on any other Linux distro. It's just a Linux distro. So the claim we have here is that whilst Linux is a small percentage of the overall users, a high percentage of the Linux users are cheaters in the game, and the majority of the cheaters come from Linux. I'm not saying this, that is what they are saying. This is a similar claim you'll hear from basically any community that has support for the Linux platform. I remember hearing about it for things like TF2, I've heard about it for CSGO, I've heard about it for this game, and plenty of others. Usually when there are cheaters involved in the game and there's support on Linux, Linux gets most of the blame.
So why can't anti-cheat stop these? Because anti-cheats, in a way, they're outdated. They're made to catch old type of cheats that modify your files, old school stuff. But with tools like this, like the aimbot is running outside of the game, that's what makes it harder to detect. And among the years, you seeing all the freaking ransomware and all the issues that anti-cheat has caused and all the vulnerabilities that have compromised machines, and again, they still keep using it. When anti-cheat gets more advanced, like Valorant, it literally creates other problems. And this, like, the anti-cheat, it's so invasive at a kernel level. And yeah, some people don't know about this, but when it comes to the kernel level, it's so invasive that if a hacker exploits that, you're kind of screwed. Like at the kernel level, it could detect everything, like what memory you have, what's in your computer. Sometimes they even go as far as checking what files you have. Like everything you have no privacy at all. And they could be using that to sell your data or do whatever they're gonna try to do with it. Like, you as a gamer, do you really feel safe with them having that information? What if there's a data breach? Or like, you probably shouldn't do this, but if you have your car or something, and then there's a data breach and they get a hold of your information, what are you going to do then? You can't blame the company. The company's not going to give a fuck. So some developers are waking up to the freaking idea that they have to ease up on the anti-cheats, and some of them have even gone as far as to remaking them. Honestly, I don't really see what the big deal, because I remember when I was younger, you used to just report them and eventually got banned or you got footage. It's not that hard. And also in the 90s, it was a little bit different too. Like, you'll make your own servers. This is kind of off topic, but you'll make your own servers and you have to keep your reputation that you weren't a cheater. Because if you're a cheater and that word spread around the community, you're done. You're done. You were never coming back to that server. So people tend to try to keep their stuff like cleaner. So even back then, shitty was a problem, but not really, because it was more community driven in the 90s. So when people say that's not an easy fix, I really try to wrap my head around that. I don't think it's that hard. It's not rocket science, man. Just don't make it as invasive. It's not that difficult. There's aimbots that are getting around it, so what difference would it make? Yeah, and some people argue that when a game has too many cheaters, people eventually leave and the game eventually dies, but for me personally, it doesn't make a difference. I kind of like trolling cheaters, since this really matters to the most of the gamers. That's why it's such a big deal. So they need to protect their game without hurting innocent players. They really have to keep up with AI tools, because there's a lot of AI tools, cheats that are coming up. They need to get up with the times. So what's the answer? Anti-cheat should be stricter? Should they do more support to Linux players? Or is there another way? Like, let's be honest. Just let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys' ideas. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification button if you like my content. And until next time, bye.